someone down. And that's the type of audience that he has generated, right? He generated an audience that loved the excitement. They love to see people pain. They love to see people being torn down. They love to see people just rip apart, right? That's the audience he had. They're like a set of beasts, right? So they will pay to get that kind of content from him. So whenever he produced that type of show, it's all about money. Pretty screen, thanks for that super chat. Da, da, da. It's like his aim and his goal is to make as much money off of that particular show as possible. We don't see him working anywhere. We don't know behind the scene, but I'm just telling you circumstantial evidence. We don't see him working anywhere because there's no one could be working and you're on social media on a live for 7 hours, 6 hours, 5 hours, 2 times a day, 3 times a day. I just don't see it unless you're working from home. And even then, you still have to be on your computer to do, working from home job or whatever. So we can kind of assume that these type of shows is to really generate income for him, right? He has spoke many times about the amount of money that he make on a monthly basis, right? Because he went ahead to say, when I get the money, I give it to this one and I give it to that one. And that's just him saying that. We don't know that for sure, right? So we know and can assume that this is all about money generating for him. So, to say that, well, we can't say because we don't know his finance. Okay, let's just use circumstantial evidence for what we see in front of our face. And that's all I could go by. All right?
There are many people who have supported DMG and who have shown that they are there for her, and he has gone out of his way to attack. Now, I am not saying that they didn't do things to necessarily provoke a response, but I don't think whatever it is that they did deserved all of that. And I'm speaking specifically about YMK. I said it in my first live back. I did not respect the response. Of course, I didn't like how YMK behaved at that gala thing. No. Right? I thought it was a temper tantrum about nothing important. And I said the same. But regardless, I do not believe that it can be questioned about whether or not YMK is for this lady's success. Whether or not YMK adores this lady, I don't think at this stage that we can still question that. Even if it was something in the back of our heads before, I genuinely believe that time has shown that he is still steadfast in his support. And if he has come out here and made a mistake, be it that his response was, I don't know, dramatic, because ain't dramatic. It did not deserve that attack that I witnessed. It wasn't
HTK, come on. Sometimes I listen to you and I say, okay, she's gonna be like 100% honest in her dissection or even her explanation on certain circumstances and situations. And then sometimes while you're talking, I could hear where you're kind of, you're kind of like playing it safe. Yeah, that is my opinion. It's like you speak on a subject and you dissect it, but you kind of still want to play it safe because you don't want to ruffle too much of a feather, right? Because at the end of the day, you already know within yourself that it had nothing to do with what YMK did. Yeah, I did a video on YMK, right? And yes, I spoke specifically about his behavior and how he came out, concerning, everybody at the gala. And that's honestly what I was talking about. His behavior, the way he is, the way I think that, he just riding her coattail. That's my honest opinion. But when it comes to Ashanti, in my opinion, right, it had nothing to do with what YMK did at the gala and the things that he said out of his mouth. It was just Ashanti way again to try to use that situation to try to convince the plankers to turn against Chris, to demolish his business, to wipe him out of the way, to get him away from DMG, to get him into, into the, what you call it now, where he dumped everybody else, right? The so-called enemies. He wants all his plankers to pick up YMK and throw him over there in that portion or that side of the fence, because that would be one more person that is very close to DMG, one more person that she shared her love openly for. That would be one more that he could get out of the way. And that's why he ran with it. He did not run with it because he felt offended or he felt like the Planketarians ought to be offended by what YMK did. No, he just saw it as another opportunity to use what happened and the things that YMK say to try to convince the plankers of why they need to kick him to the curb. And that never happened, right? Just like how he did with what's her name again? Donna Friend, the Bagley, the money lady, the lady that carried the money, Paula, right? He tried to do that with Paula. Paula, yeah, and he did all the most to try to get Paula away from Miss D. And again, it never happened. So it was just him trying one more time at someone else that is close to Miss D to use what happened in order to get rid of him. It had nothing whatsoever to do with the fact that he felt offended or the plankers should have felt offended. So, that is my opinion, but that's exactly what I felt happened.
Necessary. In other words, you can scold without slander. You can scold without destroying. You can scold without tearing down a person's brand and basically denigrating their character. And this is something that I find that Ashanti is yet to learn, despite him being a seasoned blogger. And I say that with my full chest, and I care not about the reactions. I'm telling the truth. Ashanti was somebody that I used to respect a lot in terms of his blogging. The things he used to do when it came to missing people in need and stuff like that. And that was long before I used to follow DMG. And now when I see exactly what he is capable of, I am telling you that Planketarians try to placate him because they do not want a backlash on DMG. Tell me if I lie, may I tell?
Absolutely agree. 120%. Absolutely agree. And that is the narrative that us out here in social media already know. It's plain, right? It is so plain as day. It's only the fake Planketarians cannot see what you just said. They are honestly loving and supporting him for the mere fact that they bought into his lies that is 100% for Miss D. They bought into his lies that the fact that he's defending her and defending her honor solely because he loved DMG. You have a majority HTK that believes that. It is only the real Planketarians, the mature-minded ones, the ones that they don't have a veil over their eyes and they could see clearly through that could operate under that the way you're saying that, yeah, they gonna, pacify him. They're gonna baby him. They're gonna, oh, we love you, Ashanti. Ashanti, here's a couple of dollars. We love you, Ashanti. We just love you, Ashanti. Oh my God, you're my boss. Oh, big up, boss. Big up, boss. Big up. Yes, those are the mature ones that understand the assignment that they need to do that in order to keep him calm and keep him off of that lady. And I'm not knocking that, because at this point you got to do what you got to do. And don't you think Miss D knows the assignment? Don't you think that she understands that's what she also need to do? And that's the reason why it's so many people asking themselves, the question, why is she not coming out at him when he's dealing with YMK, which is supposed to be her brother, which is supposed to be so close to her heart? People is wondering, why is Miss D not coming out and denouncing that behavior from Ashanti? That's one of the reasons why. Because she understands the assignment. She understands the plans of what she needs to do at this point in order to able to be in a safe space. And the safe space also is what helped to protect her brand. It's all about protecting her brand. And she's gonna do what she gotta do in order to protect that. And if she gotta pacify this demon and pacify this bully and pacify this troublemaker in order to pass through smoothly and continue in a safe zone and protect her brand, she's gonna do it. And anyone that is mature plankers understand that assignment without it have to come out and be spoken by her. And that's why they do what they do, to keep him calm. But what about the rest of the fake plankers? The fake plankers, they're the one that's eating it up alive and believe in this man and just generate. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Ooh. Let's keep it moving.
Huh?
Yeah, talk up.
Am I lying, graduates?
Not lying at all.
We appreciate the apology, but there is a genuine fear that this man may make a 180 and start again. So people will placate him, which means try to calm him down, try to temper him. And I see the hypocrisy all the time. So, I am not going to disagree with all of it, because as I said, I don't know about the finances, or if it's just financially driven. But some of the attacks that I've seen have been way off center. Way off center. He came for me despite the fact that I was within my rights, and I still stand by that, to defend myself from a character onslaught on Observer TV's live. For no reason at all, unprovoked. Unprovoked.
In all honesty, HTK, I'm going to give you my quick opinion on the statement that you just made, right? First of all, we're on the subject of, Dwayne, the apology, Miss D accepting the apology, Ashanti, his intentions or lack of intentions, or, I think, because I thought you and Observant TV made your peace. That's what I'm thinking anyway. I thought I kind of heard everybody made peace with whatever. So to me, it was kind of unnecessary to kind of interject this part of it in there concerning Observant TV, and to also, to bring back the memory of what happened between you and Observant TV. I don't see where it fits into the narrative of what you're currently talking about right now. So that's just my opinion. And to me, this is how ants nest, like they say, could get dug up, because you're not sure if maybe observing TV now may just take that little part right there and may get offended, and next thing you know, she have to go back on her platform to explain herself again, and before you know it, that wound gets reopened. So sometimes we gotta kind of like just stick to the actual subject at hand and not kind of veer off into other people and other issues you have with other people. And that's just my opinion, all right? But anyway, go ahead.
And to make matters worse, the things that were done, and I'm going to share something with you, right? I'm going to share something with you. You see those pictures that those so-called, because he claimed that it was two placatarians who passed those pictures on, and I'd really like to know who you are, because the sin that is on your shoulders. You see those two pictures that Ashanti did take and fling out there, claiming that he thinks he's body shaming me? Those two pictures were taken from my dead relative's page. And that relative recently passed. Remember, I said I went to a funeral in Jamaica.
By the way, Teacher K, my condolences to you. I was aware of the dead relative way back when, and I, heard about it when it first happened and the devastation that it had on you. And I do know who that dead relative is. And of course, I've never came out and said it publicly because it's really not my business. It's really your business. But now that you've come out and you're talking about it a little bit, I just want to definitely give you my heartfelt condolences. I've been there and I've done that. And again, I am aware of the family member, and it was devastating for you. So I just want to say that. All right, my condolences to you. And again, I never came out and said anything once I heard of it. Yeah, because unlike what you guys are saying, no, I'm not. I'm not an evil, wicked person. But anyway, just my heartfelt condolences to you. I've been there, done that, and I know how it feels. All right, and you took it very well, actually. After, of course, the initial announcement of that person's death. After that, you took it very well because you were still coming on social media and interacting with your people every now and again, and no one would have known how the family member relationship to you, how close it is, closer than they think. And I'm not going to mention what part of your family member or who it was, but I'm just telling you my condolences to you. Okay, all right, let's continue.
Yes. And they invaded that space and took those pictures at a time when I was grieving the loss of a close family member. You would not know because I don't bring out my business like that. I mean, I'm bad on social media. You know, you're not going to see that. Not in this day and age. And that was the time that he chose to do that. And I said, look at sin that you have incurred. Because my nose said, you see, the family member, them love me like nothing. And that family member, they don't be there for you. Try no. Try no. Curses. But as I said, it didn't do anything to me really, because you see, my confidence, you can't quite knock it like that. It's not so easy. Especially when I know what I'm made out of. Whether or not you think something of me is not as important as what I think of myself. So, this, despite the fact that when Ashanti had his accident, I knew almost instantly, as in within the first 10 minutes of it taking place. And I never came out here and went, oh my God, turn it in a content, blow it up. I respected his privacy and he invaded mine. So when you claim that you are pro DMG, it doesn't mean that you are pro anybody else that is around her, anybody else that is in her corner. It just takes coming out here to kick off with persons to show that your commitment to peace is limited and specifically only for one person. And by not caring about anybody else who is in her corner, who is supporting her, it makes a lot of people question whether or not your intent is purely for money, if it's genuine, or if it's just about generating content, which is once again purely for money.
You answer that question, HTK. Again, you're very smart, you're very intelligent, and I know you are one of those people that can see through things and see through people because you are a Taurus like myself. And we have the capability and the ability to really do that, right? If we choose to use it. What do you think he's doing it for? That is clue number 2. That should tell you that it's not about loving and being dedicated to that woman. It's not about being loyal to that woman. It's not about defending that woman. Because if it was about that, it would also respect the people that's in her corner, that's riding and dying for her, just like he claims he's doing. It would be about loving and respecting and honoring the people that stand by her, supports her, show her love amongst the hate. They're there to shower her with love, to kind of eliminate and dilute the hate that's around her. And yet, those are the people he goes after to destroy and to move them out of her way, out of her safe zone, out of her protection area. Those are the people he goes after to destroy. Guys, open up your eyes. Once he could get rid of those people from around her that loves and protects her, it makes it easier for him to make his landing. Because his aim and his goal is to be the sole person beside Miss D, the sole person he wants to implement in her mind as if he's the only one that truly cares for her and he's the only one that could truly protect her. That is his aim and his goal. People, open up your eyes. But Miss D is not stupid. She sees the game that's playing. And she already guarding herself in a different way in case everybody around her deserts her because of him or any other reasons. She already have her security team in place. And I'm not talking about a literally body of security team. I promise you, she's aware of the game that's being played out here on social media, and especially the game that he's playing. And it's all gonna end up backfiring on him, and she will be the victorious one. So people that's around her, hang on tight. Don't let go no matter what this demon and devil do to you guys. Hang on tight. He's trying to break that circle, that protective circle around her is what he's trying to demolish. And that's why he comes after people that love and truly care about this woman. And anybody that shows any form of love towards her, he tries to destroy and demolish that because he don't want that. Is that a person that truly loves this woman? People, open up your eyes. Let's continue.
There is a difference between being a righteous warrior and just being a warmonger.
True. Correct.
right? There's a huge difference. And a lot of the respect that you could have had or you should have based on the background that you have in blogging has gone downhill since a lot of the behaviors you've displayed. And it's so unfortunate because it could be done without all of that. Yeah. However, sticking to the point as to whether or not Jamaica BB had a point. Does his apology sustain where DMG is concerned? So far, so good. So far, so good. We've not heard him come out and attack the lady. But people around her are not safe. And especially if you're around her, you're not safe.
Head teacher K, you can't say so far so good. You cannot say, have he gone back on his word, and so far so good. You cannot say the people around her, put a facade over him. You cannot say to interpret the facade or whatever. People are out there keeping him calm. People are out there doing what they need to do to keep him calm. You cannot say that in one breath. And on the other breath, you're saying, has he gone back on his word? No, so far, so good. Because we already know without that facade, without that protection, without you guys out there pacifying him and keeping him calm, he would have been gone back. And he has shown that many times in some of his videos. You guys just not either paying attention or you guys are choosing to ignore and play blind to it. But it was many times in many videos that he did when she either said something he didn't like, didn't acknowledge him for something, or, she did something that he felt that, she shouldn't have said. Look at what he did in that whole penguin situation. He opened up his platform, right? And he allowed people to call in and degrade this woman, talk down to her, almost to the brink of wanting to curse her out. They came on an attack, and he opened up his platform to do that while he stayed in the background and tried to still maintain is, this facade or whatever you want to call it, that he's still with her by saying, oh, no, man, don't go so deep, no, man, don't go so hard. No, we're not gonna do that today, or let's not go that far. And he tried to play that, the peacemaker in the background, but yet it's his platform, right, that he's in control of, right? He's the one that's taking these phone calls, right? He's the one that's reading this, hide my ID, right? He's the one that controls all of that, and he allows it in while he stays in the background and pretend to be the peacemaker. Guys, open up your eyes. Stop being fooled by this demon. He is not for her. He's not for your boss. He's not out here, protecting her honor. He's not out here defending anything but, like I said, he's defending his pocket and he's defending his bank account. And once that camera is turned up, I could just see him now behind the scene laughing his ass off. But time is longer than rope, if that's all you say it. Because what's in darkness, Ashanti, I promise you, will come to light. And your end on social media is not going to be a nice one because of the evilness that you're out here doing. Let's continue.
You understand? And it's really a shame because those of us who are genuine with our support are being attacked by somebody who claims this is their co-worker. And it's like, what agenda are you really working on?
And guys, real quick, I'm just going to point this out real quick. You see the word coworker? Guys, don't forget, in the 1 year and 2 year that he slaughtered this woman, don't forget, about a year, I would say maybe a year before he actually, start to pretend like he changed. Notice he was calling her coworker at the same time when he was disrespecting and classing and dissecting and tearing this woman down. He was calling her his coworker. And with this new so-called peace, you would think because coworker is associated with his negative side, is him calling her coworker is joined together with the time when he was tearing her down, right? You would think that he will find either a different name for her or just call her simply by her name. And the fact that many times he couldn't even call her name, right? He didn't even know her name. He didn't know how her name spelled. It took him a minute. He'd say Donna Goey. He called her all kind of different things, right? That's how much this man loved her. People open up on her eyes. He continued to call her coworker. Even up until today, he calls her coworker. The same name that is attached to what he used to do and say about her. Guys, you got to open up your eyes.
Ashanti, you deleted a live. You deleted a live. I saw it. Somebody else saw it. Well, a few people saw it. And you deleted it. About people reaching out to you and calling you to fight their battles. I'm not going to call the person's name. You deleted it for a reason. And once again, I'm going to respect that privacy. But sometimes when people reach for you to fight their battles, they're setting you up. Yeah.
Not to get